everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 45 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches in ECW history with match number 6 on our list, which is the ECW World Heavyweight Championship match between the champion Mike Awesome and the challenger Masato Tanaka from the December 24th, 1999 edition of ECW on TNN. Yes, it's another Awesome and Tanaka match. This is, in my opinion, though, the best match to ever be contested for the ECW Championship. I talked about it the other day in their match from November to Remember, that when you kind of look at it, that's maybe the best all-around, like, traditional kind of pro wrestling match that, you know, not only that they had done, but had been contested for that belt. That said, all of the extracurriculars and the memorable moments make this match the most memorable to me and the absolute best ECW title match ever. I talked about it a little bit in their match from New Year's Eve. So this was a very important match to me at the time. We would always spend Christmas Eve with my dad's side of the family. Nobody there watches wrestling. This was the only year that ever changed up, and it allowed me to watch this match on Christmas Eve. I was a huge Masato Tanaka fan. I got that early, you know, TNN exposure to ECW. Really liked Tanaka, thought Mike Awesome was cool. Had never, you know, really seen a quote-unquote live title change. They showed the three-way where Awesome won the title on TNN, but they'd already talked about that it had happened at Anarchy Rules. So this was just, the whole thing was really exciting to me. So the show actually opened up with Cyrus taking the show hijack. So Cyrus representing the TNN network, of course. And this was a traditional show opening where he would come out and, you know, interrupt Joey Styles and Joel Gertner's, you know, kind of lewd show opening and talk about, you know, representing the network. So he does that. And he goes on to announce that the following week there would be a major ECW title match. It would be a rematch from November to Remember. It would be Awesome and Tanaka to close out the year, which is very cool. Spike Dudley comes out to the ring. He hits the acid drop on Judge Jeff Jones, who was out there, you know, as well for the announcement. And that leads to Mike Awesome coming out. And, you know, you watch all of these videos in succession. We just had the Awesome and Spike Dudley match from Guilty's Church 2000 the other day as match number 10 on our list. This kind of sets all of that up and gets the wheels in motion. So Awesome comes out, he attacks Spike Dudley, and he actually hits, you know, the Bam Bam Bigelow style Gorilla Press Slam on Spike Dudley into the crowd. But who does Spike Dudley land on? He lands on Masato Tanaka, who is sitting at ringside. And we get the opposite of what had happened at Anarchy Rules, where Tanaka gets mad about this, tries to jump the rail. Awesome, you know, is saying, come on, bring him in, and, you know, defend the title. Paul Heyman comes out, you know, tries to shut it all down. And this time it's Cyrus that goads the whole thing into happening 1 week early, and we get the impromptu title match. This match is short. It's hot. They still build off all of their classic spots, and it leads to one of my favorite finishes of all time that I watch it nostalgically at least once a year, and it brings me, you know, those happy, you know, youth wrestling fan feels that I would get from it, just like I did on Christmas Eve in 1999. So Fast and Furious opening, Tanaka dives to the floor, Awesome dives over the rail, all of the fun stuff that you would expect. They build off the chair shots where it's the 3 and the 4th takes Tanaka down. We get, for the first time that they hit this in ECW, Awesome hits the running Awesome bomb off the ring apron through a table that's leaning against the guardrail. Just a crazy bump. It actually kind of busts up Tanaka's arm a little bit, and he's got some blood on there. We get, you know, everything that you would expect. We get the tornado DDT on the chair, the heat wave finish. We get a tornado DDT off the top through a table. First time they've hit that in ECW. That would go on to be one of their signature spots, but it's not enough. Awesome goes for the running Awesome bomb through a table in the corner. Tanaka slips out and hits the German through the table in the corner. Awesome ends up hitting the running Awesome bomb for 2 for a great near fall. These guys just go balls to the wall, exactly as what you would expect from them. The actual finish itself is after we get the tornado DDT through the table, Awesome somehow kicks out. And Joey Styles here is fantastic because he sells it so well on commentary. So the rolling elbow, the roaring elbow, you know how it's phrased on commentary. That is kind of painted as Tanaka's kill shot in this match, but he's got the bad arm. So he ends up kind of hitting it out of nowhere, and it's enough. It surprises Awesome, and it's enough to keep him down for the 3. Remember, it was the roaring elbow at Anarchy Rules, followed by the Awesome Splash from Awesome that eliminated Taz. So they'd really put that over that is a knockout shot that can finish the match. So he hits it here. It's enough to put him down. Joey Styles, like I said, wonderful on commentary, talking about, how Tanaka only had one chance with that roaring elbow because of his bad elbow. He found his opportunity, he hit it, and it was enough. And we got this shocking, impromptu title change. It was in Nashville, which is, the TNN headquarters, so had that network tie-in. It was, like I said, the opposite of Anarchy Rules, where, at that point, Tanaka basically gave up his title shot, for the 3-way, and Awesome won it. Here, it was Awesome giving this early title shot to Tanaka and paying for it. And the best part about this match, though, is the finish. So we get, Mike Awesome, they're a little emotional. They have this respect there. You can see Awesome hands over the title to Tanaka, just like Taz handed it over to him at Anarchy Rules to pass that torch. But what does Mike Awesome do? He jumps Masato Tanaka, and while the title is strapped around the waist of Tanaka for an awesome visual, he hits the running Awesome Bomb over the ropes, through the table on the floor. Another crazy Masato Tanaka bump off of that. It's the callback to, their original match in New York City that kicked off this feud in ECW. And it's just showing that ultimately, whether it was intentional or not, would really get us a good payoff. That, Mike Awesome has squandered that torch that Taz passed. Taz passed that torch in respect, and rather than Awesome do the right thing and pass it down to Masato Tanaka, he crapped all over it. And that would come into play where, in April of 2000, Mike Awesome, as the ECW champion, would decide to jump ship to WCW. And who would it be that would come to the rescue of ECW and defend, the respect for that title? It would be Taz, right? Taz would come back despite being a WWF contracted wrestler. He would beat Mike Awesome and win the title back. And again, it goes back to everything about this torch being passed and that torch being the title itself. Taz handed it over to Awesome. Awesome, didn't do the right thing and handed it over to Tanaka, so Taz ripped it back and would ultimately, hand it over to Tommy Dreamer at CyberSlam when all was said and done. This match is excellent. It's everything that you want from these guys in a compact package. The whole presentation on TV and everything for it was so great. This is one of the best all-around episodes of TV wrestling ever. You also, if you watch the show, you get a killer, super crazy Anakudo Hidaka match on there as well. You get a big angle at the end too with the crucifixion of Raven. So it's a really just fun episode to watch that I hold very fondly in my heart. You can watch it, of course, on the WWE Network. It might be available on Peacock, but you can 100% track this bad boy down online if you want to see it bad enough. You can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you never miss a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50. And please join me again tomorrow, as always, as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50. Top 50.